Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm making this video in response to a few commenters on one of my last HEL videos. This is going to be for Anthem, who commented and wanted to know about some HEL builds for Joust. And then in part 2, you're going to see tomorrow, we're going to go and address Vampire Claudia, who wants to know how to play HEL exactly. So right now, we're just going to talk about the build that I kind of like to go through and go see. So when we're talking about Joust, we want to say, you know, you have your sustain and your building power item in the beginning, and then you have some sort of, you know, pen power burst, and then some sort of, you know, bridge, you know, bursty item over here. This is kind of like, I like going like this. This is like something core that I would probably go. If they have a lot of healing on the enemy team, I'm going to swap this out for a Divine Ruin. And then maybe I'll go Soul Gem here. Maybe I'll go Spear of the Maggots after. Depends on my feeling of how it goes. But let's say they have healing and they have like a high protections comp. We can go something like this. If I'm still shredding them, still ahead. If I'm not really shredding them yet, we can go something like this. I would still probably say Soul Gem is a pretty good item to go with all that extra burst and everything like that. And going like a Ratatouille is pretty good. If you really still need to cut through and they have really high health, you can get a Soul Reaper here, and you can be looking towards that. If the tanks are really not your problem and you're trying to just kind of burst down the squishies, but they still have healing, if they don't have healing, remember you can change this out for Spear of the Maggots as well if you want. I really like Spear of the Maggots as an item. If their healing really isn't that crazy, we're going this, absolutely. We are definitely going this. Ratatouille can still be really good here. And last item can be, you know, definitely situational. You know, healing, if they do have healing and it wasn't really impactful, but now you're going to go for it, you can get the Divine Ruin now. And I usually always go Pendulum of the Ages. Gives you so much power and burst and everything. I really like this item. If you really want to get a little more utility, you can go Alternate Timeline. You can go from there. And if you really want to go kind of utility-based, you can get items like Gem of Isolation. You still want to kind of have your core items, but like Gem of Iso is like for the last two, Ethereal Staff for the last two, pretty good items to go. Spear of Desolation is always good, but then you're kind of at your 40% cooldown if you throw that in this build currently. And you can always just get your Red Pot and go from there. So that's just a quick rendition of that, and just to give you guys an idea of how this works. You know, you go in, dead without even changing and that's even without my upgrade. So yeah, so pretty easy to kind of build. You know, you want to be able to be open for all situations and see what you can do, and you know, we go from there. You always want to kind of work towards, you know, building based on your competition and not just building a cookie cutter build every single time. But there you have it. If you want to, you can follow me for part 2 of when we address Vampire Claudia's question on how to play HEL. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you later. Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of my HEL tutorial. This part is going to be for Vampire Claudia, and she asked, how do you play HEL? Last part we went over the build for Anthem. Thanks for asking the question. And now here we are with some simple tips and tricks for HEL on how to play her. So one of the big things that a lot of people might overlook is that your second ability, this one right here, is your best friend for most engagements. So, you know, we're going to be out here, we're going to be here. And even though he got the freeze off on me, I'm out. I'm out of it. I lived. I was able to drop it because of the delay cast that it has. You can anticipate it, and then you're free. You're free to walk around. You're free to do what you need to do. Now, your other two, in Dark Stance, incredibly good for slowing and reducing protections. 25 plus 10%. Pretty strong against anyone. Pretty good for solidifying things. Keeps them out of the way. I think I missed that, but that's okay. You know, keeps them at distance. I showed you a little bit before with the Ra, how destructive going against a squishy can be. You know, auto attacks in between. Let's go over to the Odin bot. We'll slow these down and we'll kind of show you a little bit more of what we're doing. So, a lot of times what you like to do is, you know, auto 2, auto, 1, auto, 3, auto switch, auto, 1, auto, 3. You always want to kind of weave your autos in. It's a lot of extra damage, especially for a mage that once their abilities are done, there's not much you can do. You can see there's a number that comes up between each time I use an ability. And there's just a lot more damage that's being pushed out rather than if you were to just go bam, bam, bam. I'm missing about, I don't know. Let's see, you know, auto here is 179 in that stance, 190 this stance, and when you reduce it, 243, and when you have the power on, 292. So realistically, you're kind of missing out on like 1,000 damage in your combo if you're not kind of doing those auto cancels. This can go for any god that you play. And this isn't even like this isn't exactly the rule for every single engagement. It's always a feeling. It's always about how you kind of like play it. You want to kind of weave your autos in on any god you play if it's realistic enough to do so. But it's not a requirement. If you are just trying to get out and just go and you just want to get the hell out of there and just go, you don't need your auto attacks to weave in there, because the auto attacks still slow you, still kind of put a slowdown on your combo, and could be the result of your death if you don't play it right. So it's, you know, it's all about feeling. If you want to get in there and just get ready to go, maybe only throw one auto in between the combo. But basically what you want to do, any kind of combo you can do, just kind of get your abilities out and play it and get your damage out when you can. Not really much else you can say about that. More so it's just like kind of like know your matchup, get familiar with the god that you're playing, get familiar with how they do things, and get familiar with that delayed cast for the CC immunity. And then you're basically good to go. Any other questions, you could please hit me up on my Twitch live streams. I'm always available to answer and interact and do any question you guys have, as well as take requests for god picks for on my Twitch stream and on my YouTube videos. Go see the YouTube for curated content for that type of long form commentary videos. And jump in the Discord where we just chat and goof around and we play games when we get together with everyone and, you know, just generally have a blast. So, thank you all for coming. Shout outs to our peoples for requesting these videos. I always love putting out content for the people that really want it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next videos. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.